Greg Kelly Show.
I'm looking at President Trump and Bibi Netanyahu in Mar-a-Lago. They just had a nice meeting. He looks like he's president already. So presidential. Bibi went down to Mar-a-Lago, and they're having a meeting at one of those long conference tables, and a lot of people are around. Everyone's smiling, and it looks like two heads of state are meeting, and that's essentially kind of what's happening in many ways. Donald Trump is the leader of this country right now. It certainly isn't Joe Biden, right? Man, the guy's in hiding and in disgrace, totally humiliated, and we need to know what the hell happened there, okay? Because, number one, it's important. 14 million people voted, yet three guys told him to get out. How did they tell him to get out? How do they make him get out? What inducements? How did that happen? And what impact does all of this have on Kamala Harris? We're just supposed to accept this? Okay, it's Kamala, and she gets to campaign for 3 months. Nobody voted for her. What about all those primaries? All those silly primaries these guys go out for. The corn dogs in Iowa, shoveling snow in New Hampshire, all that crap you got to do. She's just going to hang around for 3 months, pose in some commercials, some slick commercials with the urban, shall we say, music in the background. Is that it? Is that all it's going to take? I don't think so. Look, I take her seriously. Yeah, I'm concerned. But there are some political experts saying, Greg, don't worry. There's no path for her. And she's going to be like the George McGovern of 2024. Who is George McGovern? You guys remember George McGovern? He is the one who lost to Nixon in the largest, I think, electoral landslide in history, or second largest. He lost every single state except he didn't even win his own state, George McGovern. He was so liberal. He only won Massachusetts, Taxachusetts, they called it. Richard Nixon won everything else, 49 states. Could that be Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris? Everybody, I have no idea how to say her name, and I don't care anymore. I don't care. It's a unique name. There's only one she never made a big deal out of it. I noticed Kari Lake. Kari Lake, I consider her a friend. Her name is spelled Kari, Kari Lake. Apparently she calls herself Carrie Lake. I still say Kari. I can't help it. She doesn't make a big deal out of it. Donald Trump calls her Kari. It's spelled Kari, but she says Carrie. It's spelled Kamala. Everyone says I'm mispronouncing it. How do you pronounce it? And they say Kamala. It's like the same pronunciation. I don't understand even what you're talking about. She is hideously liberal. Hideously. Now, I'll get to that in a second. If you are consuming regular media, there are two big stories right now. And by the way, they consider this a slow news day. A slow news day. Joe Biden quits. We're only less than 2 weeks out of an assassination attempt that gets more and more suspicious the more and more we find out. And we have this possible coup on our hands. And it's a slow news day. So what are they focused on? They're focused on two things. Who is Kamala going to pick for her vice president? And some gaffe made by J.D. Vance 8 years ago. So at the same time, I'm hearing this is a very, very interesting time. This is a time like no other. This is such a unique moment in history. And it is. So why is it when I turn on the fake news, they're treating it like it's any other election? Because this is what they do in any other election. Beat up on the Republican, especially a brand new running mate. Oh, boy, let's vet him. Let's find something he said and make fun of him for it. America has become a country not about what you do, but about what you say. And we should be a country about what you do. J.D. Vance has done great things. Donald Trump has done great things. Kamala Harris says a bunch of stuff. She's got nothing to show for her work. Nothing. Zero. The mainstream media feasting again on something that was said. It doesn't matter. So what? Something was said. Something about a cat. I don't care. Actually, I do care. I actually looked it up. You know what? He's basically not wrong. I know his point. I wouldn't have said it the same way, but who the hell cares? Something was uttered on a podcast in 2016, and you actually have people like that Scaramucci guy. What the hell happened to him? Talk about Trump derangement syndrome. Saw him on... Anyway, forget him. There are two stories right now dominating. Vice President Kamala Harris. Who's she going to pick for Kamala for her running mate? Let me get it together here. And the J.D. Vance gaffe. There are. That sounds like any other election cycle. That is typical. Yet everything is happening that is so weird, so crazy, we haven't seen this stuff. We haven't seen it. Well, yes, we have. It's throughout our history. Yeah, 100 years ago. 100 years ago. We have primaries and caucuses now. That's how we do it. We don't do it in the smoke-filled room. That was considered a bad thing. These parties, what they came up with a new system. The party that speaks about democracy all the time, you know what they have a habit of doing? Making sure that the nominee is not the one the people want. In 2016, who was winning and who was going to win that primary? Bernie Sanders. Hillary Clinton was screwed. The primary, the party said, no, Bernie. They sabotaged him. They rigged it. Everybody knows that. Bernie knows that. Hillary knows that. In 2020, was anybody really genuinely into Joe Biden? No, he was crashing and burning. Came in 4th place in Iowa, 5th place in New Hampshire. By traditional campaign metrics, he was finished. Then he was revived by the 2 or 3 people who were important in the Democrat Party. Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, and a couple of rich guys. Right? And I guess a little bit Nancy Pelosi. I want to know what the hell they said to the President Biden, to get him to drop out. They had to say something to him to get him to drop out, right? Not just you're going to lose. How about, Joe, we have some idea what was going on in Ukraine. I think the moment they said Ukraine, he would have gone running. He should have gone running. He should have run for the hills. If they had any guts, they would actually have done it. They would actually have pulled I bet they did. I can't imagine a set of circumstances where they didn't. Joe Biden is a very, very, very compromised guy. The worst of the worst. And we all know it. And they just said, Joe, you're going to lose? And that made him go away? They blackmailed him. I think it was blackmail. And again, the word is that the big guy, the big loser in all of this just might be Barack Obama. Because he knows that Kamala Harris can't win. Now, anything could happen in politics, all right? So we can't let off the pressure on Kamala. We just have to show who she is, by the way. A crazy liberal. A crazy, unserious person who got to where she is, by cultivating men in power. Yeah, cultivating men in power with her, I'll get into that later. So, you want proof of this? Barack Obama just endorsed her this morning. Everybody else endorsed Kamala on Sunday and Monday. He did it by phone. You want to hear it? Can we do the endorsement of Kamala? Right? And she's walking around, look at me, I'm fabulous, getting off a jet. They make it so you can see the Secret Service agents behind her. And they're all women Secret Service agents and very small. I think we have to reevaluate that, don't we? But anyway, let me hear that, please.
Kamala.
Hello. Hi.
Hey there.
Oh, hi. You're both together. Oh, it's good to hear you both.
I can't have this phone call without saying to my girl Kamala, I am proud of you. This is going to be historic.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh, my goodness. Michelle, Barack, this means so much to me. I'm looking forward to doing this with the two of you, Doug and I both, and getting out there, being on the road. But most of all, I just want to tell you the words you have spoken and the friendship that you have given over all these years mean more than I can express. So thank you both. It means so much. And we're going to have some fun with this too, aren't we?
And that's it. Notice Barack wasn't that effusive, actually. And at the end of the commercial, you know what it says? It says, Harris for president. They got a problem with that. Harris for president. Everybody calls her Kamala or Kamala. Harris for president. Yeah. Harris. Something for her. Harris, president. President for Harris. She gets to be president. What about the rest of us? Make America great again. That is a promise for the people. Harris for president, that's a plea. That's a wish. And I don't think she's going to get it. I want to highlight this one more time. Focus on Barack. Obama, right? What he says in this thing, he didn't remember. I know it now. I know it. He did not want her. He likes her, but he doesn't want her to be president. And he wanted Mark Kelly, and he's thinking maybe I can still get my friend Mark Kelly in there for a lot of reasons. Mark Kelly is the astronaut senator from Arizona. One more time.
Kamala!
Hello. Hi.
Hey there.
Oh, hi. You're both together. Oh, it's good to hear you both.
Stop! Notice how she doesn't call him Mr. President or anything like that, right? Oh, hi, it's good to hear you both. It's such a setup, too. They got like a steady cam, right? I mean, everybody knows it's all staged. So it's totally phony and cheesy. And the Secret Service agents are behind her, right? And I'll give this to Kamala. She's got a nice walk. When she walks, she's very confident, right? And she walks kind of quickly. She doesn't dilly-dally as a pedestrian. That's it as far as the praise goes. All right, pick it up again.
I can't have this phone call without saying to my girl Kamala, I am proud of you. This is going to be historic.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Stop. We're going to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office. Isn't exactly everything we can do to make you president, right? Just a phone. He's not into it. That's the proof right there. That's proof. Because you want to hear how he endorsed Hillary Clinton? And he wasn't, there's tension between those two. Where's that Hillary Clinton commercial, please? We have it? Yeah. Go ahead and play that.
For more than a year now, across thousands of miles in all 50 states, tens of millions of Americans have made their voices heard. Today, I just want to add mine. I want to congratulate Hillary Clinton on making history as the presumptive Democratic nominee for President of the United States. Look, I know how hard this job can be. That's why I know Hillary will be so good at it. In fact, I don't think there's ever been someone so qualified to hold this office. She's got the courage, the compassion, and the heart to get the job done. And I say that as somebody who had to debate her more than 20 times. Even after our own hard-fought campaign, in a testament to her character, she agreed to serve our country as Secretary of State. And from the decision we made...
All right, stop. You get the point. He's going on and on and on about how great she is, qualified, right? And what did he say about Kamala? We're going to do everything we can. Get you in there, right? Yeah, I mean... And he said it to Kamala. He didn't say it to anybody else, right? Technically speaking. It's weird. And this thing isn't over yet, all right? It's not done. And we need to open the books up on the whole damn operation. You know and I know that Joe Biden took China money. You know and I know that Joe Biden received $200,000 from his brother Jim, and it looks like that money came from a screwy payoff from a company called AmeriCorps. James Biden gets $400,000 one day. The next day, he gives $200,000 to his brother, the former vice president at the time. Hunter Biden, you never talked business with your son? Why the hell is he lurking about 50 of your trips when you're vice president? Going to all kind of Romania, Hungary. What the hell was he doing there? At the time, Hunter was 48 years old. Did you see him in that thing? It did look like that funeral parlor as they were watching him leave. All right, what's the big deal about J.D. Vance? He said something 8 years ago. I have what he said. There's a perfectly good explanation for it. And J.D., don't get discouraged. We got your back. Be right back.
Greg Kelly. This is the Greg Kelly Show.
Welcome back. And let me see before we get to... listen to this. Kamala Harris, my God, we got hours and hours and hours of this, and I guess this is going to happen. If she's the nominee, this is the way it's going to be. We have to go through everything she's ever said, and boy, oh boy, has she said some stupid things. She's not done anything. So what does she have? She has words, a record of words. Like this, cut 22.
Remember, age is more than a chronological fact. What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. That is why we put them in dormitories, and they have a resident assistant. They make really bad decisions.
All right. 18 to 24-year-olds, I hear that you vote Democrat like crazy and you like her because why exactly? You just heard what she thinks of you. Let's see here. Oh, Afghanistan. I guess this is something that she actually did. She was there for the whole damn thing. We got to get out of Afghanistan before September 11th. And we got to do it this way. And we're not even going to keep the damned airport. We're not even going to keep Bagram Airfield. We'll just give it to the Chinese. The Chinese. Cut 24.
Biden always said that he wants you to be the last person in the room, particularly for big decisions, just as he was for President Obama. He just made a really big decision. Afghanistan.
Yes.
Were you the last person in the room?
Yes.
And you feel comfortable?
I do.
You do, huh? Well, she wasn't one of the 13 who was blown up. So I guess you can feel kind of comfortable. She also wasn't one of the 44, I believe, seriously wounded. Kind of reminds me of Bill Bratton. I remember he comes back in 2014, and guess what goes up right away? Shootings. Shootings left and right, because remember, they scaled back stop and frisk, right? There was going to be a new regime, kinder, gentler, whatever the hell their motto was, to get in with the leftists, right? De Blasio. And shootings went way up. And you know what de Blasio said? I'm comfortable with the increase. Like, it's an increase, but it's not as much as, they say, and I'm comfortable with it. Well, easy to be comfortable with something when you're not shot, right? You weren't the one who was shot. Speaking of which, I just had a flashback a little while ago, with all the blood on Trump's face, and we're playing it a lot because it's a huge issue. And thanks to that guy, Benny Johnson, I just saw some new videotape that, oh, gosh, this was so preventable and so sinister what happened. I don't believe it was an accident. So here's the deal. Apparently, there was a sniper team, a local sniper team that was perfectly placed to detect this guy. Like you could throw a rock at him. They were so close. A 3-person sniper team. One guy calls in sick. Okay. The other guy, they hear something. There's a suspicious guy outside. So he leaves his little sniper nest to go down and look around. Can't find him. Then he decides to come back in the building. Guess what? He left his pass inside the building. So he calls his buddy, and his buddy comes down there to get him. So the sniper's nest had 3, then it had 0. And that's when little crooks there started blasting. No one was looking at him.
You're listening to The Greg Kelly Show.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution.
Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place, right?
Right,
we are proud
right.
of the fact that equity is one of our guiding principles. Proud of the fact that we understand equality is important, but not everybody starts out on the same base.
We see that people in our country are having an experience that is not equal. So when we talk about the work we are doing here together, it is recognizing that and being guided by this principle of what we must do in the spirit and in the interest of equity.
All right. This is code for giving everybody the same stuff. And you don't want the government doing that. Equity. We all got to end up. This is crazy, crazy, crazy crap. It's garbage. All right. It's Marxist ideology. Her father, by the way, was a Marxist professor. So was Obama's, huh? Socialist Bernie Sanders. This is a socialist movement. This is a communist atheistic movement. And it is dangerous and it must be stopped. I'm confident it will be, right? Because our ideas are better than their ideas. These are hideous, hideous ideas. Anti-American, anti-God. And the only way we really can stop it is by voting our asses off, okay? Raising money, doing all that stuff. I will not stoop to their level. I will not cheat. I will not wage coups, all that nonsense. What about January 6th? Yeah, what about January 6th? I want to say something about January 6th that I haven't really said. One of the big reasons why there was such fake outrage about January 6th, right? Quite frankly, most of it was coming from, how do I say this? White people, white liberals, white Republicans, right? Because most of them had to keep their mouths shut or thought that they had to keep their mouths shut during the crazy 2020 Black Lives Matter summer, right? All that looting, all that rioting, right? It looked really bad. But I can't say something. I don't want to be seen as a racist. I don't want to be seen as somehow unsympathetic to St. George Floyd. Oh, my goodness. No, this is a movement. I understand. At this point, I will listen. I will do better and listen more. I have never walked in your shoes. How could I possibly say anything about you and your experience? Please tell me your truth. Those people are racists. The people who adopted that tonality, and they did, the entire culture, quite frankly, including in the media, Democrats, huge swath of the Republican Party, actually, corporate America, all of it, academia, the country, started saying that crap. Deep down, a lot of them knew that it wasn't right, that you don't get justice by burning things down and taking over bridges and avenues and streets and stealing, right? You don't. They knew that on some level. They couldn't say anything. They felt they couldn't say anything. And then January 6th happens. And all that pent-up frustration that they weren't allowed, they thought, to air in the face of all of that criminality, they let the white trash have it. They let the deplorables have it. Oh, these people. Oh, we're not intimidated by them. They're just scum. They're just Trump supporters. Look at that. Look at them with their flags. Look at them with their standing on the steps of the Capitol. Look at that. It's so disgusting. Oh, my God. Oh, no, there's a pushing match between a police officer and a protester. How dare that protester? Put him in jail for 10 years. Ashley Babbitt gets shot. Oh, she had it coming. Oh, she had it coming. She did not comply. You people are sick. It's not right or wrong. It's not rights from God. It's this crazy culture that you're trying to curry favor with. And I thank God that I don't have to play by your sick, ever-changing fashions and styles. And wow, it feels great. It actually feels great. What do they call it? Red-pilled. Red-pilled or blue-pilled? I forgot. One of the pills. You ever see The Matrix, Neo? And you can, take this pill. You live in the dream. You live in the dream of the Matrix, or take that pill, and you're gonna find out what reality is all about. I take the reality pill, although it doesn't really come in a pill. It doesn't come in a pill. However it comes to you, it is glorious. Mike, I usually don't take calls this early, but ketamine is staring me in the face. You got a question about ketamine, I understand. What about ketamine?
Yeah, hi, Greg. Last night I'm going down a Google rabbit hole, and because I see all these ads about ketamine, and people are commenting on Facebook how great they feel. So I did a little research, and I see people use it for PTSD, and I'm trying to connect some dots, thinking similar to Trump's right to try. I said, why are we seeing this all of a sudden? And I'm wondering if you know if any regulations lifted at the FDA led to the use of ketamine, which seems to be helping a lot of people now.
I don't know if it's helping anybody, to be honest. I've got my doubts.
Oh.
You know, it killed Matthew Perry. You know that, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he OD'd on this stuff. From what I know about it, it seems very risky and very weird. I don't want to have anything to do with it. All right. And if people have trouble, stop drinking, take a walk, read the Bible, and try to help somebody else. Help others. Get out of your head. I don't know that much about ketamine. I know it's been around for a while. You know who was messing with it? Hunter Biden. I don't know. I can't really help anything more than that. Are you down in the dumps? What's wrong?
Am I? Well, until we know the outcome of this election, I'm on edge.
Well, get active. Get active. Yeah. It'll take the edge off. All right, and don't go down Google rabbit holes. Post things about politics. Write your congressman. I don't know. Go out and volunteer. You live in New Jersey, right? You know New Jersey. Hey, look, I tried to get other people to do this, and they didn't take my advice. You could start doing social medias. Are you married?
I'm not. No.
You have a girlfriend?
I have a cat. That's about it.
Oh, boy, we got some work to do, pal. No, I'm only kidding. Listen, what I suggest is this. If you start making, and look, I don't know, who am I saying? But I told some people to make social media videos and like that Trump can win New Jersey. Why don't you try to help him win New Jersey? You realize
I definitely believe it, and I believe Citarelli won, but we won't go down that path again.
Oh, sure we will. I totally believe he won.
Supposedly Bergen County carried it at 2 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah, they cheated their asses off. And what's his name? Deserved to lose. Remember when he called everybody in New Jersey who voted for the other guy white supremacists and white supremacists, right? You have to fight white supremacy. Look, I would suggest getting a bit more politically active. And no kidding, and I'm not making any assumptions if you're down in the dumps or not, but reading the Bible helped me. And the other thing you made me think of is you said something. What about the veterans? Did you say something about the veterans?
PTSD. So apparently this ketamine is supposed to be helping people. And
you know what? All right. There's a little bit too much with the PTSD. All right. I mean, things happen in life. Things happen. And now we have a word for it. Oh, PTSD. We have a phrase, and then you have, if you have PTSD, you're entitled to this, and you should get that, and you can't do this. It's like a ready-made excuse. I probably life happens. A lot of weird stuff has happened to me. Traumatic war, this, that, other thing. Life happens, and we deal with it. I don't like the PTSD. It's become a craze. It's become fashionable. Oh, I got PTSD. Speaking of which, on Twitter, on what am I calling it? Instagram. I just posted a pretty cool picture of me because Trump's wound reminded me of when I was wounded. Did you guys know I was shot at when I was in Iraq and a big bomb blew off right next to me? So I put the picture up there on Facebook, and guess what? I'm bleeding from the face. It was a pretty scary time, but I really wasn't hurt that bad, and I was okay. But this is what I wrote. Wow! And it's a picture of me with blood on my face. Wow! I just had what is called a flashback to the time I was wounded by a great big bomb while bullets were flying everywhere. It was in Iraq during the invasion in 2003. The blood on Trump's face reminded me of my time in combat. Fortunately, I made it home in one piece. We'll always be grateful to the excellent medics. Some people call me a hero, but I do not. #hero. It's pretty good, right? Yeah, I like it, especially the last part. That's supposed to be funny. All right. Hey, Mike, anything else I can do for you?
No, thanks. Have a great weekend. Great show.
Thank you, sir. All the best. Hey, wait, whoa. Did he go?
Yeah, I'm here.
How do you feel about this thing with J.D. Vance and the cat?
I don't know what he said, and you know what? Of course they're going to pitch it up and try to use it to gin up the base of cat ladies.
Yeah, cat ladies. Yeah, I know, and I actually haven't even heard what the hell he said yet. We'll get to it later. In the meantime, let's listen to some truth about Kamala Harris, and this time it comes from Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'll see you later, Mike. Cut 18, please. Cut 18.
Since being appointed by border czar by President Joe Biden, Kamala Harris has undoubtedly been a complete failure in her job and has destroyed our country by releasing a record-setting levels of criminals, rapists, and terrorists into our communities. Despite the attempts of the fake news media to whitewash her appointment as border czar, as Axios correctly reported, and they're now lying and say they never did. She was, in fact, labeled a border czar by nearly every major news outlet across the country. Border czar Kamala Harris said, "Do not come," yet proudly welcomed 11.5 million illegals from over 160 countries, including over 2 million known gotaways who completely evaded U.S. authorities. She stood by and allowed these people to come in and idly watched our children and women being raped by illegal alien criminals. She's not just allowing them to come. The policies of the administration allow the CBP One app to import over 400,000 illegals into American communities. Under her watch as border czar, this has happened. She can fake it for the photo ops, but we know that Kamala Harris wholeheartedly supports the chaos at our border, the chaos in our streets, and the chaos in the families who have been victims of her open border policies. Border czar Harris outlandishly compared ICE to KKK and radically called for the ICE to be abolished. She also posted the Minnesota Freedom Fund to bail out violent Black Lives Matter terrorists who burned down cities, looted stores, destroyed communities, and caused over $2 billion in damage to American communities all over America. Kamala Harris is not only the border czar, she is also the czar of chaos. And her policies have destroyed Americans.
All right, good for you. I love it, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She really is awful. We haven't even begun. Oh, she was so nasty to Netanyahu, our great friend from Israel, in a lot of different ways. This is how the meeting started. You ready for that? You got the one where the meeting started? So they come into the room. It's Bibi and her, and she is frowning and scowling and mean-looking. And watch this, or listen to this. Hey, what's going on with the music?
Welcome, Mr. Prime Minister, and I look forward to our conversation. We have lots to talk about. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
All right, so what happened? Did you hear it? Welcome, Mr. Prime Minister. I look forward to our conversation. We have lots to talk about. And they got a table there with 2 seats, right? This is, diplomatically speaking, this is like the middle finger to our great ally, Israel. That is disrespectful, totally. And it got worse later. Here's Donald Trump greeting Bibi today, I believe. Yeah, today at Mar-a-Lago. And you're going to see it. They're hugging. They're shaking hands. But you know how they shake hands like back in the day in the 70s? Quite frankly, they said it was like the cool guy way. Sometimes they said it was the black way to shake hands, right? You know, when you put your forearm up. Yeah. Go ahead with that.
Got to the best part.
They're hugging. Big kiss to the wife. Bibi and Trump hug. And they have that cool handshake, the cool guy handshake. And then posing for pictures. They love each other. That is love. We love Israel, and Israel loves America, especially Trump. They really do. Be right back.
Greg Kelly. You're listening to The Greg Kelly Show.
If Kamala will lie to you so brazenly about Joe Biden's mental incapacity, then she will lie to you about anything. She can never, ever be trusted. She can't be trusted. And just like crooked Joe Biden, Kamala Harris is unfit to lead. She's unfit to lead. She'll destroy our country. In a year, this country will be destroyed. A vote for Kamala is a vote for 4 more years of dishonesty, incompetence, weakness, and failure. Other than that, she's doing an excellent job.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. I'm thinking, how many states is she going to win? California, probably. Could that be it? California? You know, 1 in 7 Americans live in California, more than 10% of the country. Well, Chris on Long Island. Yeah.
Greg, first of all, I went to Chaminade, so You didn't go. You went to Garden City, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm just saying. Anyhow, Greg, I think I've come up with something that I hope Trump can use. I want everyone to start referring to her as comma chameleon, just like the old Boy George song.
Nah.
'Cause that's what she is.
Comma chameleon. No, it doesn't work.
Comma
I
chameleon.
remember Boy George. It was actually Culture Club. It was the band Culture Club. He was the lead singer for it. Comma chameleon. No, it doesn't work. It's not pejorative enough, and the song is too catchy. People like it. Get back to the drawing board, Chris. What'd you do after Chaminade?
I went to College of the Holy Cross up in Massachusetts.
Good school.
And now I currently work down on Wall Street. I've been down there 40 years now. So
you sound like you're 20. You sound like you're 25 years old. Are you rich?
I'm 61. I'm fairly comfortable. I live in Bethpage with my wife, and my son's working up in Buffalo now. My daughter is a junior in high school.
The American dream. I love it, pal. Chris, keep it up. Congratulations on a life well lived. You got plenty of life left. Thank you, sir. Sandy, hello.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call. You say so many things that are in my mind. It's unbelievable. I've been thinking, I remembered a couple of years ago, Camilla spent a lot of time in Hawaii for a long time. Nobody knew where she was, what she was doing. And I think that she was getting a tutorial. This whole thing, it has been planned from the beginning. Obama would look the other way while Biden would make his multi-millions with his family. And then he would fade and Kamala would pop in. I think we're watching a show.
We're watching the execution of a plan. I tend to agree. I don't know what was going down in Hawaii. I don't have all the facts. I don't. But we got a lot of pieces here. We're starting to put it together. We need more information. Unfortunately, we have an incurious and corrupt press establishment, media, and they are prepared to take their instructions. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Just a couple of guys went into a room with Joe Biden and came out and with the nomination. They took the nomination from Joe Biden. That whole democracy bit, 14 million people voted for him. He was bragging about it, yelling and screaming how they were trying to push him out of the race, but he wouldn't let it happen. Well, it happened, and no explanation whatsoever. Look, I'm not a Joe Biden fan at all, and I understand. Look, the Democrat Party, the Republican Party, they're private entities. You can make the case they can do whatever the hell they want. You can make that case. I can also make that case that if you're going to make that case, then don't give us this crap about a democracy. All right? All right? I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. And stop with the January 6th stuff and stop with it all. 14 million votes. All right. Good point, Sandy. Something's up. We know it. You know it. Very quickly, Carmine. Hello.
Hey, some fun facts for I Was Made for Loving You. Okay, Greg? It was released the year that I graduated high school.
That's not a fun fact.
Listen, it went to number 11 in
That's not a fun fact either.
Gene Simmons did not like it. It was his
That's
least
not a
favorite
fun
song.
fact. 3 strikes, you're out. Sorry.